Good morning. It's Tawni Peterson, nurse practitioner from Adams County Health Center. This morning's live feed is going to be on health and wellness. I was hoping that I would be doing this live feed this morning with my sister. Hopefully I'll get to treat you and introduce you to her one day. Our schedules just did not work out. So let's go ahead and move forward and talk about health and wellness, especially after coming out of the COVID pandemic. This is actually a perfect opportunity for all of us to reevaluate the changes that we've been through, the changes that we want to make, and to just do an overall body scan of how are we doing physically, how are we doing mentally, and take this opportunity to make changes if they need to happen. When I have patients come into the clinic, it doesn't matter really what they're coming in for. It doesn't matter what their condition is. I almost always start with nutrition. And it can seem kind of funny to the patient in the beginning, but after they hear me out and understand the role that nutrition plays in our overall health and wellness, it makes a lot of sense to them. And many, many times they have come back to me and said, I have tried everything. I have went through everything, and I can't believe that some of these changes were actually the key. So I'm going to start this topic out today talking about nutrition. It's going to be a lot shorter than the one I did maybe like 5 or 6 weeks ago. If you want to go back and go through the ACHC Facebook page, you can find all of our live feeds, and there was like a 30-minute segment on just nutrition. So you're welcome to do that. But for starters, some of the easiest things that you can do to create balance in your body is to eat nutritionally dense foods. You want to eat whole food. You want to eliminate the packaged, the processed, the sugary foods. You want to eat foods that add an array of color to your plate. The more whole foods that you eat, the more nutrient dense foods that you eat, the more colorful foods that you eat, you're providing your body with the needed vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, the nutrition or the nutrients that your body needs to sustain and function at a higher level. It also is, I don't want to say proven because it's just evident that when you're eating whole foods and more nutrient dense foods, you tend to spend more time in your kitchen. And when you spend more time in your kitchen, you are oftentimes eliminating the foods that really should not be eaten. Another real simple thing that you can add to your diet is just pure water. People are not drinking enough water. I do hear a lot of people say, I just don't like the taste of water, or water, just plain water tastes funny to me. And so I tell people, don't buy the infused water that's been infused with sugars or flavors. Do it yourself. If you don't like just plain old water, then add fruit and muddle it, or add herbs from your garden, add cucumber, add mint, add lemon, add lime, anything to flavor it yourself. The next part that goes along with nutrition is the gut microbiome, so gut health. That is another really, really deep topic, and I hope that I get to do one on here one day. But a simple way to kick off a healthy gut microbiome is by adding pre and probiotics. That is just the groundwork, but it's a simple way to at least get started. There's a whole list of pre and probiotics that you can add to your diet. You can Google them and they'll pull up. I'll give you some examples this morning. But what I do is, my goal is to have 3 different types of pre and probiotics every single day. And I mix them up throughout the week. I never eat the exact same ones day in and day out, because keep in mind, I like to explain to people that our gut is like a forest, and you need to feed that entire forest. You wouldn't just feed it. You wouldn't just give a forest water and expect it to be healthy. It's like it needs all sorts of different nutrients. And so by mixing and matching your pre and probiotics, that's what you're doing. So some examples of prebiotics: dandelion greens, artichokes, garlic, onion, leek, apples, flaxseed, my favorite, seaweed, bananas, asparagus. Some examples of probiotics, everybody already knows yogurt. If you choose yogurt, just go with unflavored Greek yogurt. You can flavor it yourself with a little honey and vanilla if you want. You can add fruit to it, but stay away from all of the additives, all the sugars. Water or milk, kefir, anything fermented, sauerkraut, some cheeses like Gouda and mozzarella. Let's see, cottage cheese, buttermilk, kombucha. Those are just some good examples of pre and probiotics. And that's just a great place to start for overall gut health. Another way to create health and wellness is through vitamin D. There's some controversy on whether or not people need to supplement with vitamin D, especially if you live in Idaho. Some people feel like Idahoans are fairly active and they get outside, and so they're getting their vitamin D. My personal feeling is vitamin D. So it's terribly important to get outside. You can eat foods high in vitamin D like eggs, and fish. And so for my vitamin D health, I do spend time outside, and then I eat fish and I eat eggs, and then I supplement with vitamin D. I'll leave a link to where I get my vitamin D and my probiotic supplements. I always take a probiotic pill at night too. And that can maybe guide you in a good resource. The other portion of this health and wellness is lack of sleep. So you could ask any of the providers at Adams County Health Center, how often do you have a patient come in complaining that they cannot sleep? It's daily. It's a problem nationwide. It's something that we have to address every single day. And what I really encourage all of our patients, all of our viewers to do is to practice sleep hygiene before you take an over-the-counter sleep aid, before you take a prescription sleep aid. That it's just not the route to go. Sometimes it's essential. Sometimes, we have to do that. But for the most part, if we practice sleep hygiene, we can get ourselves into a sleeping pattern. And so some of the things we teach at the clinic are, if you're able to nap, no more than 30 minutes during the day. Keep the same sleep and wake cycle. It doesn't have to be precise, but try to stay on the same sleep and wake cycle. When you wake, you want to see light. You want to have lights. If it just depends on your work schedule, but I want to say you want to see daylight. That's not always possible for people who are working different shifts, but you want to see light. And then at sleep time, you need to have it dark. Some people need to have the blackout curtains because they just need to have a really dark environment. The biggest thing, and this is a big one for all of us, and that is get your electronics out of your bedroom. Get your cell phone out of your bedroom. Turn your television off at night. All of the other little lights that are in your bedroom from different electronics, get rid of them. Those electronics are completely fouling up our sleep cycle. Nighttime rituals are really important. So people's rituals are different. Some people like to do light stretches. Some people like to read. Some people like to journal. Some people like to take a hot bath. Some people like to drink a warm cup of chamomile tea. It doesn't matter what your ritual is, but people need a nighttime bedtime ritual, and that helps the body to understand it's time to start shutting down. Let's see what else I have in my notes here. Of course, we have to go back to food. So you really shouldn't eat several hours before you go to bed. And you need to be careful what you're choosing to eat. Get rid of the sugary foods, alcohol, nicotine, caffeine. All of that will disrupt your sleep cycle. Heavy foods, foods high in carbohydrates, spicy foods, all of those types of foods will disrupt your sleep cycle. Exercise, of course, is vital, but as most of us know, we shouldn't be doing a lot of exercise right before we go to bed. But there have been so many studies on how exercise will improve a night's sleep. And so as little as 10 minutes of even just walking or bike riding will give you a healthier sleep. So Stress, of course, is huge when it comes to health and wellness. And especially coming out of what we've all just come out of, I believe that in one form or another, we were all under a lot of stress, some more than others, some in different phases. Some may still be experiencing a lot of stress. And not only does stress really affect our immune system, but it also affects our overall health and wellness. At the bottom of, or in our links today, I'm going to leave some websites that people can click on if they're really struggling right now with stress. IdahoSuicidePrevention.org, the crisis hotline. I'll leave those links in case people need additional help. But some of the ways that we can ease worry and stress are, this is my favorite, take a break from watching the news. Take a holiday from the news, from social media, from all of the negativity that we are constantly being hit with. I actually did my own little experiment without knowing it. Where I live, I don't have access to same day like television. And so I have to watch news from the night before. And so oftentimes I just don't watch it because it's just, I always feel like that was news from yesterday. However, during the social isolation and staying at home, I started watching the news in the morning. And I could not believe the anxiety I was creating in myself. The doom and gloom, I felt horrible and I was scared. So I took a holiday from it. I stopped watching it. I stopped reading it. And immediately I started feeling better. So allow yourself that. Spend time with family and friends that make you feel good, that make you laugh. Laughter is our best medicine. And there's been all sorts of studies done on what laughter can do for our overall health. But you need to surround yourself with people that are happy and cheerful and positive. And just being around people is important anyway, but make sure you choose wisely who you choose to be around. Essential oils or burning candles can be very uplifting and help to reduce stress. Some different scents that are good for that are lavender, rose, bergamot, frankincense, chamomile. There's a whole list of them. Practice mindfulness. So yoga is a great way to practice mindfulness. Practice meditation. I like to use the Headspace app on my phone. And sometimes I will end my day with a Headspace meditation. Sometimes I'll start my day. And every once in a while, I have to take a break in my day and do a 3 to 5 minute Headspace meditation, just practicing mindfulness. Exercise, of course, will help reduce stress. Spending time outside will help to reduce stress. This is a perfect time for all of us to get out. The weather is beautiful. People are planting their gardens, they're working in their lawns, or they're just outdoors recreating. The deep breathing technique, the 4-7-8, if any of you have heard of that, it is a wonderful way to get yourself to sleep. It's also a great way if you're waking in the night and you need to get yourself back to sleep. And it's a really good way to just reduce stress, especially if it's like a situational stress situation where all of a sudden you're just really stressed out. And so what you do is you inhale for a count of 4, and then you hold that breath for a count of 7, and then you exhale for a count of 8. So I will leave that in the feed below too. Let's see, what else do I have here? Spending time with pets. Of course, I'm a big believer in that. Pets will help to reduce anxiety, and they are uplifting. I had to chuckle about that this morning just because, as we know too, our pets can also cause us stress. But for the most part, we all know that pets can be very stress relieving. Reducing caffeine. Journaling is definitely a big stress reducer. Maybe when you're journaling, you're actually journaling things that you're grateful for, or maybe you're getting thoughts out that are causing you anxiety and you just need to be free of. So that's it under that. Let me move along here. And then my last one that I wanted to end with, this is my all-time favorite, and that is practicing gratitude, being grateful. This is a really, really good time to add this if you're not already doing it. This can be one of your changes if you want to make some changes right now. And that's just practicing gratitude. When you're having a bad day, when you're having a bad thought, when you're in a situation that you just can't seem to climb out of, it is the craziest thing if you practice gratitude, what it will do to your overall well-being. I have done this multiple times. I have felt horrible. I have felt sad. I have felt depressed. I have felt anxious. And you can try to talk yourself out of it. You can try to look on the bright side. You can just wallow in it. But what I do, and I sometimes have to remind myself, think of something that you're grateful for. And I will tell you that sometimes your brain does not want to go there, that you are so deep in whatever you're in. The last thing you want to do is try to find something that you're grateful for. But I will tell you, if you do that, and it can be tiny, sometimes you can only find the tiniest thing, and it might seem ridiculous to you at the moment. Oh, well, okay, well, you know, I'm grateful for this. And you might even be half angry about it. But you pick that one thing and kind of go with it. Go with it and think about why are you grateful for that? And guess what happens? It starts a chain reaction. Then you start thinking, well, of course I'm grateful for that because look at what that led to, or look at where that came from. And the next thing you know, you're thinking of something else and you're thinking of something else. It is the most awesome experience. And, you know, within within a period of time, for me, sometimes it's between home and work. And that's a real quiet time for me because it's like a 30-minute drive and maybe I'll be feeling down about something. But by the time I get to work, I always feel amazing. So practicing gratitude, being grateful for what you have. If you need to write it down, if you need to do it while you're journaling. I had a lady teach me one time that when I'm doing this, after I do it, I was supposed to physically touch what I wrote down and repeat it again. It's very powerful. So what I want to do is end this today with our ongoing campaign that we have at Adams County Health Center, and it's ACHC Loves Local. This week we are spotlighting Tasha's Tinctures and Herbs. They are located in Council. It is the coolest shop, and Tasha is so full of information, very helpful. She has a really great selection. What you'll do on our Facebook page is you'll see where we've spotlighted that, ACHC Loves Local, Tasha's Tinctures and Herbs, and you will hashtag ACHC giveaway. You'll share that post, and then you'll go to Tasha's website so that you're promoting her business, and you'll like her Facebook page. We'll be giving away gift certificates this week to her business. I'm going to post some links for vitamin D and probiotics. I'm going to post the breathing to relax 478 method. I'm going to post the Idaho suicide prevention link, the crisis hotline, our ACHC website, and then Tasha's Tinctures and Herbs, her website. So thank you for joining today. If anyone has any additional suggestions on overall health and wellness, please share. We'd love to read that, and we will see you next week. Thank you.